Hello, and welcome to the Bear Pen. This is Blood on the Bayou, our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition podcast live play set in the amazing city of New Orleans. Welcome, everybody. Today we are down a few players. Our amazing Alex is on vacation. Our lovable Ari is not feeling so great. However, there are five of us, and this is wonderful. Before we get started, a huge thank you to the man behind the curtain today, Dominic Donahue, who is taking over Alex's tech directing duties for today. And he is helping us all out because my computer also has some brain weasels today, and I cannot fix them until probably Thursday. So I am actually streaming from my tablet today. So apologies if there is any weirdness on those lines there. But as always, we want to give a huge thank you to our partner who has been a partner with us for some time, Aesthetic Cult. So, Aesthetic Cult makes some really, really cool jewelry and trinkets and all other kinds of merchandise relating to Vampire the Masquerade and other products too. So if you want to check them out, you can go to their Etsy shop. You should be able to find the link up on screen. And if you use the code tabletop at discount, you will get a discount which is related exclusively to our show, which is wonderful. The next thing that we would like to plug is we have an art giveaway that is ongoing for some time. If you follow us and subscribe on YouTube, once we get to 200 subscribers, actually, we'll let Dom put that up on screen there for a second there so you can have a look. Um, the fantastic B Gomez, who is on all the socials at Blue Toaster Art. She is the person who will be facilitating our art giveaway, and she is a cast member on some of our other shows and a valued member of the Bear too. So she has said that at 200 subscribers on YouTube, we will do the first art giveaway where we will take about a week with our YouTube subscribers, and the winner will be getting a character portrait of their choice, of their design. And here is a few examples of her amazing work. And then once we get up to 1,000 followers here on Twitch, we'll be giving the same art giveaway once more. You can also look forward to some art coming up from Bee herself in some of our other streams during later, a little bit later during the year, which will be great. Okay. Um, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about today is that the Bear Pen also has a Patreon. So the Patreon, if you go to patreon.com/the Bear Pen, you can actually find a way to help support us and support the cost here. The funds go into making better shows for you guys. So upgrading equipment, doing things like keeping the lights on, paying for Zoom, paying for artists, paying for special guests, and of course, paying our cast members, which is a wonderful thing. So each and every single patron that we get, we value you guys very much, and you can get access to things like after show cast chats, exclusive special episodes. Actually, once season one of Blood on the Bayou is finished, we will have four character vignette episodes, which will be going up exclusively for our patrons for some time. And I would highly suggest jumping on there and not missing them because we're going to have some special guests. Melee Damage is going to be one of our guest players in our Patreon exclusive episodes there for the vignettes and potentially others depending on what happens. So we are looking forward to those. Now, what I'd like to do is to actually go around and have the cast introduce themselves and say hi and where you can find them on socials. And why don't we start today with our friend Michael?
My name's Mike, and I'm playing Quinn Hamish, the resident Thin Blood, who's been matriculating and integrating into vampire society. Okay, trying to not get eaten, so he's bit of a homebody with his meth or blood potion lab, and yeah, and we're just kind of it's last week was fun if you caught it. We're gonna hopefully continue and have some more fun this week. See if we can find a little bit more about this religious cult.
Indeed, indeed. Next up, why don't we go ahead and have our fantastic friend Zach introduce himself and who he's playing to.
Hello. I'm Zach of Feld Flames. I will be playing Kenny, who is emotionally totally okay and not overreacting to anything at all. And hi, where you can find me on socials.
Yes. Where can they find you in socials, Mr. Zach?
Oh, the instruction was, and then tell them hi, where you can find me on socials. So I told them that.
So Zach is being shy as usual. That's okay, because you can get around Zach's shyness by typing !who into the chat, and it will also tell you where he's hiding on the internet. Next up, why don't we jump on over to Glyza?
Hey guys, it's Glyza from Classical Adventures 4-1, and I am playing Michaela, our obvious Toreador, no questions asked. She is obviously 100% a Toreador, no secrets there, and she has just gotten shot. The thing that she was avoiding to do last week, a couple of weeks ago, has happened to her last week. So let's see how she deals with getting shot. Hopefully she doesn't overreact as she is wont to do.
Hopefully not, right? And then one of the people that we were missing last week, our fantastic Cassidy.
Hello, I am Cassidy. I am playing Sakura Ami, who's been doing some other things for a little bit, and sure, she's not going to walk you into anything terrible. It's going to be perfectly fine. Nothing bad happened last week.
Absolutely nothing. Everything was hunky-dory last week. And then definitely not least, but last on our list today is the amazing Kira.
Hi, I am Kira858, and I'm playing the Sweet Bean Sour Patch Kids, Salubri Sora. That's a lot of S's in one statement. I just realized that. And so, yeah, a lot has happened. You know, he was definitely feeling a bit isolated and such in the crew. Wanted to go see his Mawa for support. Man brought Michaela along, and then she got shot. But hey, you know, I mean, we still got support, more support, and we actually discovered quite a bit of information what's been going on. So, you know, it wasn't a total loss. You know, things are going okay.
For sure, it definitely was not a total loss. And as I said, our resident Samichi and our gung ho Toreador Elijah are unavailable today, but they will be back next week. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into our intro song, which as always is provided by the amazing Lance Thomas. And you can check him out on SoundCloud at Lance Thomas Lance. We'll see you in a sec.
Touch you.
The 4th of July is usually a time of celebration in the city of New Orleans and indeed across all of America. It is a difficult time at the moment for many of our country members. There have been disagreements, there have been misunderstandings, there have been all manner of, shall we say, new explorations which are taking place within our coterie members' minds. One of our coterie members finds himself on the 3rd of July in a church which he frequents relatively often, being the rather faithful and studious person in the ways of Catholicism, Christianity, that he is our coterie mate, Kenny Hartsman. It is the 3rd of July. You came to St. Augustine's Church on Governor Nichols Street, which is not too far from Louis Armstrong Park. This is usually the one you frequent often. You were hoping to see Father Andrew Donovan on this evening. However, it seems that he is currently occupied. Being that this is the day before the 4th of July, there aren't too many people, in fact. Can't really see anybody sitting in the pews besides yourself. But you've been sitting here contemplating for half an hour, an hour. It's difficult to tell sometimes when you are going over prayers in your mind, reliving old events, new events, trying to make sense of the world. A little bit of housekeeping before we start here. Would you go ahead and make your rouse check, please?
I am hungry this evening.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. The hunger perhaps drove you this evening to find yourself making your way towards the church to help perhaps at least ease your mind, the beasts that swim in it for some time. Do you feel that Kenny would have tried to find some way to eat before coming here this evening?
No. But what he would be doing if anyone were observing or to walk in is every so often he gets up from his space in the pews and moves to a different bench.
Understandable. As you are sitting in the church, why don't you go ahead and make a wits and awareness roll for me, please, Kenny?
One success.
One success. It takes you a little bit by surprise because you have been so focused that you suddenly find a man who is not too far from you and has approached you, and he actually puts a gentle hand on your shoulder and says, "I'm sorry to bother you, my friend, but you seem a little bit out of sorts. Are you okay?"
Hmm.
This man is around 5'10", relatively well muscled, and he has an interesting combination of features, which even here in New Orleans, where the range of people, just because of the history of immigration and colonization, has produced such a wonderful array of people of all kinds. Even here, he stands out just a little bit. His hair is sort of a rusty blonde, and he has very interesting looking bluish eyes. and yet his skin tone is almost olive in complexion, and he has a bit of a well kept. He seems to be dressed in a pair of simple jeans and a nice button up short sleeve shirt, which is black with some pinstripes on it, and it seems well worn. He's wearing a pair of Converse.
Evening, sir. I am doing about as well as anyone can be expected to be doing, who is mm, thoughtful enough in their ways to truly try to understand this world that we find ourselves in. And he kind of looks at him with, um, assuming that this person is paying attention, probably eyes that aren't like fully there, right? Almost like he's looking through him a little bit somewhere else.
The man smiles and nods his head and says, "Well, if you wouldn't mind, maybe I can sit with you for some time. It seems our father Donovan is not here right now, but I'm willing to listen if you're willing to talk to a stranger."
Kenny thinks about it for a moment and he says, mm, "Sure, but please have a seat."
Thank you. There's something about this man, Kenny, that you find yourself relaxing around. It's interesting. He has a way about him that just feels calming, is the best you could say. And looking at you, he says, "The world can get heavy sometimes, it's true. I know that as we go on and live our lives, things weigh upon us, choices we make, circumstances we find ourselves in. And what tonight or any day would you find it is that your circumstances or choices are causing distress to you?"
Hmm. Well, sometimes I find that the people, hmm, well, I don't mean to sound overly morose, but sometimes I find that the people that we expect to know us the best seem to know us the least. And the people we want to listen seem least open to. I'm sure I'm not the first person to feel such a thing.
No, I dare say you probably are not. I've found, though, in my time, that it is when we place the emphasis, the burden of listening, wanting to be understood on others, that we find the most cause for concern in our lives. It is only when we place that emphasis, the desire upon wanting to be understood on ourselves, that we seem to be able to move forward best, if that makes sense to you.
Um, Kenny would say, um, well, I suppose that it does. Um, should this character or person be talented at insight, um, or have a narrator in their head, they might find that, in fact, he does not understand.
As you find yourself talking to this man and listening to this man, it feels as if the church around you is embraced in a warmish silence. It's as if the world that exists currently exists only between you and the conversation with this man. You get the general sense of understanding that without knowing why, you understand that he understands what is going on with you. And for whatever reason, whereas this would normally concern you, you feel very unconcerned. The man continues. He nods his head. I can see perhaps that you're not taking my meaning as fully as I would like you to. And that is okay. I found that in my long life, it has been necessary sometimes for me to explain things in perhaps more detail. Yes. Let me give you an example. When we make choices or decisions in our life, at the end of the day, who is affected by those choices? Is it only ourselves, or is it the world around us? And if it is the world around us, is there an inherent blame and responsibility in our actions and choices? And if so, does this equate to a form of sin simply by proxy of being inexistent?
Well, I'm not sure that I'm the right person to answer that question, but since you asked, mm, it is said that he who is without sin should be the one who cast the first stone. Mm, I don't know that it's appropriate that it be me. Mm, if there is such a man or a woman or a person, uh, I've not met them yet.
Hmm. And tell me, how do you define sin? Is this a point that comes from yourself, an understanding of yourself, of your own morality and actions? Or is this something that has been handed on and placed upon you by someone else?
Mm. Well, I'm not the best writer, but the way that I understand it is that in many stories, uh, mm, it's better for people to happen to things than things to happen to people. So uh, I suppose I'd rather it be the story being told where mm, we happen to it rather than it happening to us.
Hmm.
But I think it's fairly common that people want to be in control, although I can understand why you are not convinced that we are.
Hmm. Maybe I can posit an alternative to you. Imagine for a moment that you are, as an infant, learning to walk for the first time. You push yourself up on the table and you fall down. You attempt to walk. You wobble for a few moments and you fall again. One might assume that any loving parent would want their child to be able to walk. And in those moments, how would you feel a loving parent would react? Do you feel that this parent would admonish the child for falling down, for not being able to stand on their own, thereby discouraging them from making the attempt further? Or do you feel that this parent would more likely encourage this child in their attempts and their failings with the knowledge that their evolution towards standing is guaranteed?
Hmm. Well, I don't mean to be elusive, but I can't say.
Indeed, indeed.
It
I
feels
would
like
posit one.
it would be it feels like it would be irresponsible for me as someone who is not a parent to posit on what it might be like to be one.
Hmm, that is very wise. Let me refine the example even further. Imagine for a moment that this child that will grow to be a being in its own right. Imagine for a moment that this child has understood innately that its evolution is guaranteed and that it will fall down many times along its own way, and that the onus upon admonition or encouragement lies only within itself. Under these circumstances, do you not feel that the child would have more power innately than if its circumstances would be laid upon an external world or source?
Well, not entirely sure that the child is concerned with being powerful, but I guess if I understand what you're saying correctly, mm, they're probably to be likely to be more powerful if they understand that they must accept falling down in order to walk.
There you have it, my friend. It is the same with sin and burden. I have found in my nights on this world that there is no one that is able to admonish or give praise to myself other than myself. And in this understanding of growth and evolution, that there becomes no such thing as sin, and therefore there is never anything to be forgiven as long as we understand that who we were just one moment ago is irrelevant to who we are now, and that only our actions and understanding of who we would like to be are what define and keep us moving forward.
Hmm. I'm not the most expert philosopher, but I think I follow you. Um, if I might, though, did you say night on this world?
I did. Nights, days, many at this point. The man touches you lightly on the cheek, Kenny, and says, "A lot of that is irrelevant, my child. I simply wish for you to understand that in this world, nothing is permitted, but everything is possible. And your sin and burden relies only upon your understanding of yourself." He leans in and kisses you gently on the forehead, says, "Sleep, Kenny Hudson." Kenny,
Does he sleep?
you find yourself in the church. There are a lot of people around you suddenly. Father Donovan is at the pew, and he looks towards you and says, "Oh, Kenny, I didn't notice you when you came in. It's 4th of July. I didn't think you'd be coming around this evening." Kenny, you find inside yourself something has changed. I would like you to roll me a wit and insight. You
That
also
is
find
not. That is
you
not a
also
very good. Go ahead.
you also find that you have absolutely, for the first time and perhaps ever, no hunger.
One success. That's not a very good pool for him.
One success.
Hmm.
You can't quite put your finger on it just yet, but you feel different. You don't remember coming here tonight. You don't necessarily remember what you did last night. You know it's the 4th of July. You think you were supposed to meet Rich here tonight? We're gonna cut to someone else for the time being. We're gonna jump to Sakura. Sakura, are you with us?
I am.
So just for our players here, I cannot see what is happening on the screen at the moment. So um, I will need you to acknowledge if I've said something
Fair.
because I'm on a little baby tablet and my computer did commit harakiri. So I cannot see very many things. Sakura,
Yes.
Michaela had called you earlier in the evening, and she was saying that she is going to head up to the Coterie Haven to try and speak to some of the others. That was a short time ago, and you had arranged to meet with one of your herd mates, one of your herd members, just to grab a quick snack So make your hunger roll, but assume that you have fed. So in a sense, don't worry about making your hunger roll. Are you sticking at 100, basically, is my question.
Yes. Yes, I was thinking
Right.
one.
So you have fed from one of your herd, from your fan base, and you have just arrived to the Coterie Haven, and there is no one here. The house is quiet, absolutely quiet. Go ahead and make a wits and awareness roll.
Oh, let's see. Sense the unseen as well.
All right.
3.
3. Yeah, you are listening out and you're walking into the house and turning on some lights because people had turned the lights off when they left. And uh, you don't hear anyone. You hear faintly the sleeping sounds of Bernard and Lagatha upstairs. And you walk past Sora's door, and weirdly, his door is like directly open. There is a really large and imposing looking bank vault door which seems to be in the room that has not been installed. You remember him wanting to order this, but it looks as if he hasn't installed it yet because there hasn't been the need. Bernard and Lagatha are on his bed and they are sleeping at this point in time. Bernard sort of opens his eyes and looks at you, puts his head back down, goes back to sleep. And what you do here coming from the attic is the sound of slow, slow, rhythmic, purposeful scratching.
So Sakura will real quick like find a sticky note in Sora's room. Write "This can't stop me" and stick it on the door with a little heart so that he can tell who it's from, and then head up to the attic.
All right, all right, all right. So heading up to the attic with your sense the unseen up, you actually see that Sheila is in the corner, which usually has some of Ricky's toys, and there is the little notebook that is there's a little notebook that is there, and she has a pencil in her hand, and she is drawing in the notebook. But it looks as if she, you know, she looks sad,
Sakura
but it's the
will.
kind of sad. It's the kind of sad. Actually, make it an insight roll. Make a wits and insight roll.
Okay. That's not great. That's a 1.
It's a 1. Okay. I mean, you can definitely tell she looks sad.
Sakura will go sit with her in front of her and put, because Sakura has since gotten her own little notebook, and she'll open it and put it down. Like, not do anything in it, just have it there if she wants to talk.
So Sheila does look at you and looks down at the piece of paper that she's already drawing it, and you can see that there is a very well drawn drawing there in pencil. It's got excellent shading. It's got very good values like the shadows and the light. It's almost hyper realistic. It's beautiful. And the drawing is a drawing of Ricky in his little Pikachu onesie next to Sheila. And it looks as if they are drawing together. It's a drawing of them drawing together.
Sakura looks at it sadly, like, doesn't touch it because it's rude to touch someone else's picture, but like hovers near it and just sighs loudly. Like, not purposely loudly, but just sighs, and we're gonna get him back. We are.
Now, Sakura, you know that you were meant to meet Michaela here, but she's not here right now.
Sheila, do you know where Michaela is? I'm supposed to meet her.
Are you gonna give her a call?
Well, I'm asking Sheila.
Oh, sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Sheila, do you know where Michaela is? I'm supposed to meet her.
She looks towards the Ouija board with the planchette that you have left upstairs there, and the planchette moves to SORA.
But Sora's not here. Oh, she went with him. Yeah, but you know where they went?
The planchette moves over to the circle that says the word that says no.
Do you know when they left?
It moves a little bit off and it moves back to no. You have a general understanding that ghosts don't necessarily understand time the way we do.
That's fair. Sakura will just just right next to Sheila, she'll just call Michaela.
Okay. Michaela and Sora, you are in Michaela's haven, one of them, and Camille is with you at this point in time. And Michaela, I imagine you are just to the point of perhaps finding a new shirt or some such to wear, as the current one, even though Sora had healed up your vampiric body, still has a giant hole in the front of it. So I
Yeah.
imagine you are changing your outfit when your phone starts to ring.
So let's do it like 10 minutes before the call comes in. Michaela's looking for clothes and she's upset because she's like, man, I chose this so carefully with the help of Elijah. This is one of my most Toreador clothes, and now there's a hole in it. I have to look for another obvious Toreador clothes. So this is the thing that's going on in her mind. And she just got shot, so she's a little bit upset. And Braxis or whatever that phone demon was just came up on her phone. So when Michaela's call comes in her panic and in her whatever, she sort of throws the phone to her bed, and then she was like, oh shit, maybe it wasn't that demon. So she looks at it like from afar, and I was like, oh, it's Sakura. I should probably pick up the phone. And she picks it up and she goes, Sakura?
Yeah, where you at?
Oh, I'm at my house. A lot of things happened. Where are you right now?
The Coterie house where you told me to meet you.
Well, I didn't think you'd be there really quickly, so I sort of followed Sora because I didn't want to stay at the Coterie house because I didn't want to get shot in case Kenny was there. Unfortunately, that was apparently a bad idea because I still got shot anyway.
Kenny
But
shot you?
no. Kenny did not shoot me. He was not involved in the shooting of me. But you know where I live, right? I told you, like when we were,
Yeah.
just come over. I'll let you in when you're at the
You
gatehouse. Just
Is Sora with you?
yeah, Sora's with me.
You
And
want me to bring Lagatha?
I put that. Let me ask him. Sora, do you want Sakura to bring Lagatha and the other one, or just Lagatha, or I don't know.
Oh, a Bernard? Oh, okay, sure, I think so. But can Sakura talk to
Camille says, I forget, which one was Bernard again?
Oh, Bernard is the cougar, and
Yes, Michaela, please bring a cougar. There's going to be problems tonight, probably, so bring a cougar.
So bring the cougar and Lagatha. if
That
it could
wasn't
fit in
on
the car.
That wasn't on the table. How am I gonna get Bernard in an Uber?
Put
You know what?
put it on.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll make it work.
I was gonna put myself on speaker and then give the phone to Sora and have him growl at Bernard. Maybe they'll have a
Nah,
conversation or something.
I'll figure it out. I can make it work.
I'll see you then.
All right. And Sakura will not order an Uber, but call one of her herd members with the cover of a photo shoot, and don't be alarmed in the subject title.
Don't be alarmed. There's a cougar, but
So
it'll be okay.
You call up your best fan photographer, the man who has done a lot of work for you, which I believe I had named Jonathan Jeffries, if I'm remembering correctly, because this was all the way back from before we started.
This was pre-stream, yeah. I do not remember.
Well, I believe I'd named him Jonathan Jeffries. He will be Jonathan Jeffries from now on. So you call Jonathan up, and he's like, "Yo, hey, Sakura, it's 4th of July. Like, it's totally a good time. You know, like we can get out there, get some shots of you.
Do you
Like,
have a van?
I mean, yeah, I have a van.
Okay, I have an idea, and I have the thing I need for it. It's just getting it there. It's gonna be a little tricky.
I mean, yeah, you know, I'm good. Like how tricky? Like, is this big? Like, do I need to take out a lot of equipment out of the van, or
I highly recommend it. Yes.
okay? What kind of lighting are we looking at though? Because I need to get the right lights in the van. So
We don't need much because with the fireworks going off, I think it would look better with just going with those. Just so very basic, simple lighting, and also maybe just put it in the front. Maybe just have a open back.
all right, all right. So where do you want me to meet you?
The Fontaine House.
Fontaine House? Okay, cool. Give me like 5 minutes. I'll be there.
All right. And then Sakura will go into Soren's room, knock for Lagatha, like look at Lagatha and knock at the door while staring at the dog and walking in.
Agatha raises her head.
Lagatha, Bernard, we're gonna go meet Sora. Bernard, do not scare the photographer, or I'm not gonna be able to bring you.
Make a charisma and animal kin check.
Oh, okay. They're gonna go well.
Yes, animal kid.
Charisma is high. 2, not bad.
2. They've been around you for long enough, especially Lagatha. Bernard, not as long. Bernard's only been like a short-ish time. But Lagatha, she understands the cadence of the words that you used, Sora, you know? So Lagatha stands up and sort of looks towards Bernard and goes, "Hmm." Bernard lazily stretches and starts padding after.
Gives them both little stretches on the head and meets them downstairs.
And about 5 minutes later, the van shows up, and Jonathan, you hear a ding dong on the door.
She will have Bernard stand back for a minute and open the door with Lagatha next to her, so that the first thing he sees is her and Lagatha.
Oh, Sakura, it's so cool to see you. I mean, it's the 4th of July. This is gonna be great. So like I was thinking maybe we could head out to like Lafayette again, because you know we could put you on top of like one of the mausoleums. Holy shit, is that a cougar?
Bernard, she'll look at Bernard. Bernard, you're not very good at hiding.
Bernard just doesn't
I told him
care.
to hide. He did not hide. Dang it, Bernard. Yes, this is the thing I said that I had. We do gotta go. I do gotta pick someone up first. So I gotta go there with them.
This is gonna scratch up the seats.
I mean, I warned you. I did say.
Okay. It's for you. It's for you. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, could I get like maybe a little bit of pay this time? Like,
Yeah, I'll cover it.
okay,
I'll
thank
cover
you.
the seats because Bernard is not going to behave.
Okay. So you guys managed to pile into this van, and you are slowly making your way over to Michaela's other haven, which Michaela had texted you the address. And we're going to jump over for a minute to Quinn. Quinn,
Yes.
Andre is standing a ways off at the head of this alleyway. The sound of the sirens and the fire trucks are going. There's the sound of the crowd, and there are still fireworks going off in the air every now and then because it is the 4th of July. And in time with one of the fireworks exploding, Elijah times it 3, 2, 1. Nobody notices as the young man who seemed to have been leading from the ears slumps against the wall, and Jason Walters from Maryland loses his life that
I
day.
didn't get it personal. I didn't even know him. I feel bad.
He has slumped against this wall of this building, and the blood begins to trickle down. What's your hunger at?
I was at 1.
Okay. So the smell of the blood is
Tasty.
nice, but you're very much in control of yourself this evening. Elijah puts his gun away and lights a cigarette and sort of walks off to stand next to Nikolai and says, I can't even look at him. Just, could you do something, Quinn?
Yeah, I mean, is there a dumpster or trash can or anything like that nearby?
Make a wits and awareness roll. Or actually, for this, we'll make a wits investigation.
It wouldn't just be obvious.
Well, you're looking, in terms of this, I'm going to say that you're looking for a good place to dump this body. So there are going to be some obvious things, of
Right.
course,
Let's see
but
if
there
I
are
can find
going
a
to
good
be,
thing.
yes, there are going to be better options, and there are going to be immediately available options.
Gotcha. Okay, I got 2 successes.
2 successes.
2 out of
Alright,
3.
excellent. Which is still fine. So the idea that you had earlier of actually is the burning building right there, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, heck yeah, the burning building is a really good idea. So I guess I got to roll a strength roll. Is it just
Well,
strength? Like
and
strength and
with the wits investigation roll that you had, we're going to carry this over just a little bit as well. You are getting ready to pick up the body of Jason Walters, and you remember that when Elijah had touched him, that Elijah's hand had burnt somehow. So now that you are closer to his body, you're actually having a look at the shirt that Jason had been wearing. And you're close enough now, and you are a scientist, so you know how to look for certain things. There appears to be, it's almost imperceptible, except for you might know what to look for. It looks as if there's some kind of powder that has been put onto this man's shirt.
So there's some sort of strange physical substance. Well, are there any plastic bags around?
There is the
It's-
aforementioned dumpster that is
Dumpster?
close by, which would have old garbage bags in. Yes,
Yeah, see if I can find a garbage bag in the old dumpster.
easily enough, you're able to find a garbage bag to sort of open up and dump the contents out in just straight into the dumpster, and then
Yeah.
use this plastic.
Yeah, we don't want to litter.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need to. There's a dumpster right there.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not totally heartless creatures of the night, as it were.
Exactly. You eat people. You don't have to contribute to global warming.
Just because we eat people doesn't mean we're animals.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, so I'll go ahead and empty that out, and then kind of like I want to say not well, kind of you know how you pick up dog shit with a bag.
Mm-hmm.
We'll kind of try to do that, and like grab the shirt and like the bottom of the shirt and like pull it up over his limp bodies over his head, so that I can put it, and then like while still holding it with the bag, kind of like turn the bag inside out, so I've got the
I
shirt in the
understand.
bag.
You,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
might want to look at that shirt later to figure out what that shit is. So
Well, I mean,
understand.
I figured, as a scientist, I don't have any stuff to like bag evidence with. This is the best I can do right now.
Mm-hmm. That makes a whole lot of sense. And you are able to get the shirt off and into the bag, and you sort of like tie the bag off. And, a bit of a heave ho, but you do pick up the body of Jason Walters. Now, the next part is going to be slightly trickier as you are trying to get him in to this burning building where you might have to worry about a frenzy check. And also, there might be firefighters that are currently getting into the building, but it is a good spot still. It is the better option than just putting him in a dumpster. So,
Yeah.
how would you like to handle this?
Well, there's the spot that that Alex's character went through. For some reason, the name is just
Andre or
Okay,
Nikolai.
there we go. Nikolai. Okay. So there's the spot where Nikolai went in, and I think that would probably be a good place to also deposit body through.
Mhm.
Unless I can't remember, he ended up doing acrobatics to get up in there. But he was just kind of like a walk-in type of thing.
Well, he had to make first a frenzy check for the
Right.
fire. So as you are getting closer to this part, you can see that there are definitely a lot more people in this area. But Elijah kind of nods to you and whacks on Daunt, and then kind of walks a little bit more in that direction to pretend to be a looky-loo. And people naturally gravitate away from the area of effect of Dawn. So you have a bit of cover where people aren't directly viewing you, but you are going to have to make a frenzy check. So that
I
is your
forgot. Okay.
resolve and composure, and a third of your humanity rounded down.
Okay. So let's see. So nice. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3 successes.
3 successes. 3 successes is almost enough. So you're able to sort of steal yourself from this, but as a
Fire
thin
bad.
blood, you know that fire hurts a little bit different than the way that it hurts the kindred, that are full kindred. So that's going to be like, oh, unfortunately, don't have your sheet up right now because my computer's dead. Because I can't remember if your character specifically heals like normal kindred, but I believe as a thin blood,
We don't. I do, however, have fortitude.
you do have fortitude. Okay, so the
Fortitude.
thing is, you will still get a minus to your dice for the next action. So what we're going to do is to get this body in, we're going to use a 3 and out rule here. So your first action was making this frenzy check. So you are there by the blaze. You have this body on you. your next step would be, so you see that there is the hole in the wall that was blown out, which part of the men's bathroom was exposed and part of the kitchen was exposed because the actual thing that blew up was the gas canister in the kitchen.
Right.
So which of these partial sides would you like to go into?
Probably the gas canister kitchen side, because I feel like that would be a side where the body might get incinerated a little faster, or at least
Okay,
seems a little
excellent.
dicey.
All right. So you're going to attempt to sort of like jump in there and do your best to not get burnt. You are going to be at a -1 dice for this. So I'm going to make you make a dex and athletics roll. Actually, technically speaking, you are carrying someone as well. So it's at a -2.
Even
So
better.
dex and athletics roll to jump in there to try and avoid getting burnt.
Oh, Lord help me.
I can't remember if thin bloods are able to rouse their blood. I don't think you can because technically speaking, yeah, you don't have a generation, technically speaking, that will allow you to rouse the blood.
You're
If I
zero
remember.
generations.
Yeah. Well, no, if you were zero generation, you'd be God.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so here's a better question though. Like, if the whole room's on fire, can I just like try to throw him in rather than carry him in and like land?
Sure. Yeah, you can try and eat him in as well. So
I feel
Sora
like
is
that
helping
would be more my course of action than
you.
trying to
Yeah.
like jump in there.
So Sora is helping me out here in our chat here, folks, because as I said, I do not have my computer right now, so I cannot
Yeah.
look up books. But apparently the errata does allow thin bloods now to rouse their blood, but you would only get up to 1 extra dice. So if you would like to make a rouse check to rouse your strength for this eating process, you can.
Sure, that's just 1d10, right?
Yeah.
Oh, got a 10. Nice.
All right. So wait, you got a 10?
Yeah.
So that's a 0. That's a failure. Did you get 0, 0, or 1? 0.
It's a 10, not a 0. Like it shows up on my dice roller as 10, but it's the 0 on the dice is a 10. When you roll
It's a 0 on the dice. Okay, so it's a success. All right, cool. All right, excellent. All right, so you are able to rouse your strength. So then you would roll me. So it's an extra dice on your strength. So you get 1 extra dice on your strength, but -2 dice for the thing because you are still, So essentially, you only have a -1 now. It's a -2. So
Yay.
strength and athletics to eat this man in.
Okay. Holy shit! I can't make this up. 3 sevens. I got 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. So you are trying your best not to come. 3 successes is what I actually have so that you don't get burnt, by the way. So you're lucky. So you don't get burnt.
It's the max I can roll, too.
Yeah. So Quinn, is you rouse this vampiric blood in you, which is a newish sensation still to you, even though it's been a year. It's still weird for you every now and then. And you manage to toss the body of Jason through this roaring inferno into what you hope is somewhere in the kitchen. And you're hoping that it's going to start melting away that flesh as soon as possible. And you begin making your way over to the rest of everyone. And for the moment, everything seems okay. We're going to jump back to Kenny for a second here. Kenny, it's the 4th of July. You know that you're at a meeting this evening with Rich Dos Santos. He is going to provide you some information about the activities of the Sunrise Association as they have been going down. But Father Donovan is with you at the moment. Again, you don't remember how you got here, and you have a blank in your memory about the last day as well. But you feel calmer, and you don't feel hungry at all. Not at all.
Am I set to 0 or
Zero.
okay? So
And
that
Father Donovan says, "Well, it's real nice that you could come here tonight, Kenny. It's been a little bit of time, but someone said you came around here last night. I was hoping to see you, but well, it's good that you are here this evening."
same to you, Father. I'm happy to see you.
Now, I was actually wondering, we are meaning to get back into your studies here. I believe you are supposed to be sitting a few tests at the seminary in just over a month time now.
As I recall,
Now, how is that coming? Have you been needing any help with that?
well, mm, if anyone were to offer, I would be blessed and happy to take it, but I think it's going okay.
Well, my door is always open to you, Ken, as a fellow man of the church. And, it's God's work to help each other.
I agree. Will you
Now,
be speaking to us this evening? Go ahead.
I will in probably a few hours. Now, I was intending on holding a midnight mass, as well. You find that usually around the 4th of July, some folks tend to indulge a bit much, and I am no saint by any means, and I will indulge a little bit this evening too myself. But sometimes we find on these holidays that people tend to feel the loneliness that sometimes creeps up on humanity a bit more than on other days. So I like to usually hold a midnight mass here to give a bit of comfort to those who might need the Lord's embrace at dark time.
That makes sense. It is always an important service.
That it is. That it is. And you'll see someday when you are able to hold your own masses there. So I had a few people to attend to, but maybe I'll see you later on.
Of course, Father.
All right. And as Father Donovan walks off to go and deal with a few other parishioners and speak to some people and take care of a few documenting work, etc., a man in his now he's in his 30s, I would say. He's in his 30s, and he has he's around he's around 5'11", I believe. He's around 5'11", quite uh, relatively broad shoulders. He is of Hispanic descent, and he has a bit of a beard going on there. And you recognize the man. This is Rich DeSantos, your gold member of the Sunrise Association, who you've been keeping under wraps as much as possible, although Nikolai is aware that he is under your employ. And he comes and sits next to you and says, "Penny,
Rich, I hope you're having a pleasant holiday.
it's not much of a holiday right now, to be honest. It's well, it's been a busy night, and especially considering that I have to do two things at the same time, it's maybe even busier than normal. But I'm here, and well, I do have a bit of worrying news, I think. Well, recently, David's, the founder, he's been stirring things up a little bit. He came around about a week ago, brought this man with him. He said that this man was kind of like you, but not like you, is what he said. I still don't understand how the whole thing works with, you know, you blanks. It's try not to use that word anymore, but you know, um, but he said he's kind of like you, but not like you. I don't really know what that means, but he said that something about this man can provide the key to, well, salvation for the city as much as it is. And there were a whole bunch of other ones that this man brought with. I think I've got his name down. Hold on. And he pulls out a little notebook and he's flipping through things. Michael Morrison. Does that mean anything to you? And it does mean something to
Very
you.
familiar with that name, right?
You are very familiar with the name. Michael Morrison is the name that was given to you all by Peaches, which is the name of Quinn's sire.
I thought so. Hmm. I haven't heard that name in a moment, but thank
I
you,
don't
Rich.
necessarily understand everything that Mr. Davids was talking about, but he was saying that he believes, or at least in the briefings and the rundowns and such, he was saying that he has a way for Michael and his children to come back to the light, and that a couple of operations have been going on to, shall we say, bring your kind together. And I don't know what he plans to do with them, but they're using these half blanks to draw in other vampires, and I don't I don't know if what he's telling these half blanks is true, but he's been telling them that he can get them back to normal.
Hmm. And to be clear, that does strike you as a bit off, knowing what you know about my kind, right?
What I know about your kind, I think you fill a teacup, Kenny. You still don't tell me that much. Mm, all I know is that I need your blood or I feel bad now and I have to do what you say. So, um, but it did strike me as off because whenever Mr. Davids has been talking before, he had told us all that it doesn't matter if anyone has been touched by the devil, that they need to be exterminated. And now he is working with these half blanks to take out other blanks, that they can
Hmm.
somehow, by taking out these other vamps, they can somehow cure these folks of their sickness. At least that's what he's been telling.
Do you think it's possible that perhaps this David could be compromised given, and then he'll kind of just like,
I it's been it's been strange lately. I mean, you know, look, don't get me wrong. I am half of a mind to say thank you for what you did for me, and half of a mind that if I were able to, I would probably jam a piece of wood through your heart. But that's half and half. Now I'm going to be honest with you. The half part of me that says thank you is that I'm at least able to see objectively that a lot of what goes on with Sunrise is brainwashing activity, but it's been more lately. This the way that the way they talk about Davids is almost like they're talking about having faith in him and believing in his cause, and the word's been thrown around so much lately, like they're building it up, like some kind of god or something. That has been worrying, and it's been very hard to. I don't know how much longer I can keep up the masquerade, to be honest. That I am still one of them and not in between two places.
Well, the good news for you is that I'm working on getting myself a place. So if you think your judgment is that it's time for you to get out and it's becoming too dangerous, then you can just move in there and get out.
I think I might need to take you up on that, Kenny. Um, and I am trying every day not to be as close-minded as I have been, and I'm sorry that I keep on using those words, calling you blanks. It's still a lot for me to take in, even though it's been a couple of months now. I apologize for this. I am trying. Um,
I'll be
I
honest
think
with
that
you, Rich. I can be a bit cold sometimes, but I have found myself appreciating what you've done for me in terms of finding this information quite a bit. And I might be cold, but I try not to be a monster. Yeah, this isn't going to be forever.
all right. Well, the last thing that I was able to get, and this is part of the reason why I think it's probably time for me to leave, because if they know that I have this, I might have to put a target on my back. They have a place out in East New Orleans, nearby Reed Avenue. There's a whole bunch of cargo containers there. Uh, they've been funneling your kind there for the half blanks. And recently, there was that fire. I believe they might be holding that one they call what was their name? Uh, you often see them around Rick's Annette. I think they might be holding Annette there. And he gives you an address on a piece of paper.
Okay. Penny will say, well, hmm, it appears that hmm, I might be missing mass this evening.
I wouldn't go there alone, Kenny. They're they've been bringing in a whole bunch of new weapons, a whole bunch of things. I wouldn't go there alone.
I'm smarter than that. I'll tell you what. Mm, if you're feeling uncomfortable with heading back, I'll give you this, and he will hand him a personal credit card.
Okay.
And he'll say, "Go ahead and get yourself a hotel. I've got places I need to head off to. Um, but keep yourself safe, and when my contact comes through, we'll have somewhere more permanent to move into."
All right. Um, okay. Uh, I'll see you around, Kenny. Try not to get killed.
I'll do my
With that,
best.
we are going to go on our break here, folks. So thank you so much for joining Blood on the Bayou, Chapter 11, Promises of the Blood. We're going to go on break for between 10 to 17 minutes, depending on how long it takes for us to grab something to drink or grab something to eat or give our cats some cuddles. And make sure to stretch, take your meds, and we will see you shortly.
call it the Kingdom of Wonder, a place of bright smiles, ancient mysteries, and enough easy living and debauchery to satisfy even the most zealous of hedonists. But the thing is, underneath all that comfort, all that spectacle, all that ease, lies the question. I wonder, how did I get here? And why? Why can't I leave?
Nobody's baby, that's for sure. Don't call me baby, I'm not yours. Don't go missing me when I'm not around. 'Cause I need some silence and you are a sound. I am not your lover outside of closed doors. I am not your lover outside of closed doors. Nobody's baby.
Things will be better when everybody's gone. Sure they will. We'll all be better off.
call it the Kingdom of Wonder. A place of bright smiles, ancient mysteries, and enough easy living and debauchery to satisfy even the most zealous of hedonists. But the thing is, underneath all that comfort, all that spectacle, all that ease, lies the question. I wonder, how did I get here? And why? Why can't I leave?
Nobody's baby, that's for sure. Don't call me baby, I'm not yours. Don't go missing me when I'm not around. 'Cause I need some silence and you are a sound. I am not your lover outside of closed doors. I am not your lover outside of closed doors. Nobody's baby.
Things will be better when everybody's gone. Sure they will. We'll all be better off.
And welcome back. Kenny, Rich has just left the church, and you have just started to leave the church yourself. What would you like to do?
I am going to place a phone call to someone who unfortunately could not make it this evening.
It's all right.
I'm gonna place a call to Nikolai.
All right. Give me 1 second. I've got to get that hydration in. The phone rings, and Quinn, you would hear the phone ring as well, as would Elijah that are there. And Nikolai does answer. Father, how are you this evening?
Andre, I'm doing all right. It's a bit of a mixture. I have something that you definitely need to know, but you definitely aren't going to like. It's a bit time sensitive and perhaps better discussed in person.
Indeed, we are in the middle of some difficult maneuvers ourselves. Perhaps it would be best for us all to meet. Would you be able to come over to the university?
Sure.
Excellent. We will meet you there in 10 to 15.
Uh, sure.
Good evening, Father.
Andre, click.
And yes, so you all begin to make your way towards the university, except for the others. So, Sakura, you have pulled up in the van towards Michaela's place, and your friend Jonathan is like, so we doing a shoot here or?
I have to meet up with some people. I told you that.
So, do I just wait in the van or?
You're welcome to do that. Look at that.
Okay.
Bernard, come on.
Like that jumps out of the van, as does Bernard, and the security guard like has massive wide eyes. It's like, oh, that's a cougar. I think I need to call animal control.
First thing,
Okay.
Second, hello. Michaela's expecting all three of us.
Okay. Ma'am, you know there's a cougar there. I think I need to call animal control.
Well, he's friendly, and I'll pet him.
Oh, can I pet him? And he goes towards
Maybe don't do that.
pet Bernard. Bernard goes.
You can pet Lagatha, but Bernard's a bit picky, and continue to pet him.
Maybe I'll.
He doesn't
just
like
let
men.
Okay. Okay. Well, you go on in. You go on in. I'll. If you've got it handled, I won't call animal control. Okay. A good night to you.
You as
And
well.
he
And she will
lets
just.
the boom gate open. Guys drive in there, and Jonathan is going to be waiting in the van, sort of parking area, as the doorbell rings, or the buzzer rings, so that they would be able to be let in with the fob key.
He is talking to the animals the entire way under the complete belief that they understand every word she's saying. And just, Bernard, you almost got us kicked out. I told you if you couldn't behave, you couldn't come.
He is just walking like he owns the place. You hear the buzzer in the apartment ring, Michaela.
I have this buzzer that shows the face of whoever is buzzing for me. So I see that it is Sakura on the other side. So I'm just like, I buzz her in and tell her, all right, come on up.
Entering into the apartment, you can see that Sora is gathered there, and a woman that you had maybe only seen once before, very briefly, in one of the Elysiums, but usually never in any of the main areas, just kind of like you sort of recognize her. But she is, you know, quite athletically built, long brownish hair. I would say a more Middle Eastern, slightly on the Israeli spectrum side of skin tone. Very beautiful. But the way she's dressed, it just screams Bruja.
Leather jacket.
Yep.
Yeah. That's all you need.
So you are all together.
Oh, you're back.
Sora Bernard needs to behave.
What do you mean?
He almost got us kicked out because he almost bit the security guard.
Well, what did the security guard do?
The
Like,
man
he was
trying
gonna.
to touch me, Sora. I mean, I thought we were clear about this. You know what? I'm with you. But
Sakura doesn't know that Bernard is talking and is continuing to talk.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, Bernard does
Sora.
not like people touching him.
Well, I was trying to convince him that he was friendly, and then he was not friendly.
man didn't
Yeah.
even ask for my consent, Sora. He just comes up to me and starts and want to touch me like he knows.
Yeah. Tell him that consent is important. He didn't ask for consent.
Sora, it's a cougar and a normal man. A normal man is not going to think to ask the cougar permission.
I mean, it still is required. I mean, this was Bernard is saying. I'm just translating what
I'm
Bernard
not
is saying.
saying you're wrong. I'm saying Bernard is in this particular instance because he didn't get the cues.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, consent is consent, even if you are
I
a cougar.
agree, but
He
like
has
we almost
he
got
has a
kicked out.
point. He has a point. But maybe we can put that aside for now. I'm Camille. It is nice to meet you, Miss.
Sakura, right? Hi. I see there probably are more important things. I don't know what they are though.
Oh, Michaela got shot.
Yes.
Oh right, you did say
Right
that.
here.
I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. Who shot you? Who are we killing?
I don't know. I think it's like this group of people called like the Sunrise people. Camille knows them.
Those
But-
guys again?
They ruined one of my favorite shirts. Also, it was really painful. Like, I'm surprised at how
Yeah,
painful it
yeah.
was. But Elijah's gonna get upset because he chose that shirt for me, and now it's ruined.
We'll get you a new one. It's okay. I think he might be more upset that you got shot.
Sora, help me. It's okay. I'm over the shooting. I'm over it. I'm just annoyed at the shirt.
Can I do a wit to insight on the fact that she's over over the shooting? Like, is she really over the
Sure.
shooting, or is she just saying she's over? I think okay.
We'll see how you roll.
Make a witsy insight.
I was like, I mean, you see Sora's eye twinkle at that, like, oh, I'm perfectly fine. Okay, we're getting shot. It's like, what? So what's inside? Oh yeah, okay. One, two, three successes. Oh yeah,
Michaela, if you are trying to hide, you would have a manipulation and subterfuge roll. Would be a
I'm going to make a manipulation and subterfuge roll. Give me
Alright.
1 moment.
it was three successes.
So I got 5 successes just because I have 5 subterfuge rolls.
5
Impeccable
dice of
lies.
subterfuge?
Yeah,
Impeccable
I mean,
lies.
she's 100% over it, Sora. She's 100% over it.
She's
You
like
know,
done.
Toreador's fashion comes and goes. She's over it.
That is so quick. I would have got shot. I would have been stuck for days. Okay. He shrugged.
I've been shot before. It's okay. Obviously. I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, who
Get yourself
specifically
into?
shot you so that we can shoot them back and more?
Oh yeah, he turns to Camille for that. Can we get retribution?
Hopefully, yes. We are going to try and get a little bit of retribution. I'm afraid you might have walked in on something quite dangerous, Sakura. The Sunrise Association seems to be herding kindred for some reason to a location that we were staking out. They have, I don't understand why, but it seems as if they are working with a group of Thin Bloods, but we believe a number of
What would those
kindred are being.
sunrise do?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, it was she's just sort of speaking like to her friends. That's how we dealt with those sunrise guys, didn't we? It was like a long time ago.
Sora shrugs. He was like, I didn't hear anything about sunrise thing. Did you guys take care of sunrise thing?
It was a while ago. It was like right before we
I
found
think it was a
Ricky,
year ago,
even.
maybe a year and a half ago. I can't
It's-
remember.
It's been a while, but like I scared the shit out of some guy and he ran away and I thought we were done.
Oh, so maybe they're afraid they're back because you scared the shit out of them?
Nah, that guy ran. I'd be real surprised if he came back.
But
If it
I
was
was
only
wondering.
one, if it was only one man, I doubt that would have been the extent of the Sunrise Association. They have been in Louisiana for some time now. If it was one man that you scared off, that is great, but it's that might explain though part of why we were tracked, Michaela and Sora. If this man that is associated with Sunrise knew you, perhaps that's how they followed you
What?
to me.
He did know Michaela. Remember, Michaela? He
I-
followed you the
I
first
do-
time?
I think he followed me, but I didn't get to talk to him at the library. I don't remember.
No, I
Um,
did.
yeah, yeah. I think he only talked to Sakura at that time. He was following me though in the beginning. I don't know if it was him this time around, but I've been very careful with my travels and stuff. I'm very good at keeping secrets.
Do you think they can follow us here?
Oh, I don't think so. Like uh this house it goes through a corporation. All my neighbors think my name is Emily Goldfinch. All my coworkers think my name is Michaela. It's fine. Nobody will know
But your name
that
is
it's you.
Michaela.
Shh, don't worry about it.
Bum, bum, bum.
I don't think that's as elaborate as you think it is, and I think we're gonna have to work on that.
Sora is back, returning slightly back to his paranoid self. Is there any windows or stuff like that around that you can perhaps take a look around just to make sure nobody is like spying or them or anything?
Michaela, you would know best. It's been your apartment.
So this is a pretty this looks like it's a townhouse basically. So the whole it's it's on top of a hill and it's like very closed off. Only people that have that are like added to the guest list are allowed in. And the guards are pretty strict and it has high walls surrounding it. So unless you're like she's pretty comfortable that nobody is in here that she, that is looking for Michaela herself, because nobody knows that she lives here. And basically only Sakura knows, technically, because she's the only one that she gave the address to, and Sakura is the only one on the guest list. The reason why Sora and Camille were in was because Michaela was in the car, and
Yes.
showed her ID,
Oh,
but
yeah.
nobody
But,
else can really come in.
but that makes sense. But yeah, Sora is paranoid, so he wants to
Right.
look outside. He wants to look outside the windows just to make sure there's.
So it's a normal townhouse. There's like windows upstairs, they're downstairs in the living room. It's
Okay.
just a normal house.
Awesome. Yeah. So Sora would definitely be taking some quick glances outside just to make sure he doesn't see anything too suspicious.
All right, wits and awareness.
All right. Heightened senses is definitely on in this endeavor.
For sure.
There's ever a time for it, it's now.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Okay, that's a crit. 4, 5, 6, 7 successes with a crit.
You first want to get a higher position, so you head upstairs to look out of some of the upstairs windows, and you are looking into the complex, and you are scanning up and down the street, and from that vantage point, it doesn't seem as if you can see anybody that's giving undue attention. Wanting to be double sure, you go to the downstairs areas where you can see through windows there, where it's more of a ground's eye view of the actual interior of the gated complex. And other than Jonathan, that is in the van, patiently waiting for his star that he likes to photograph and get his pictures out there, you are fairly confident that no one is following.
Okay, perfect. Is even though he doesn't breathe, there still is just a reaction of a sigh of relief.
Sigh of relief.
He just
And
from habit-based purposes. And then
we're going to transition to the others for a second. So Quinn and Elijah and Nikolai and Kenny have all met up at the Applied Genetics department in Tulane University, where Nikolai likes to do a lot of his work from. And he says, Mr. Hardsmith, it's good to meet you this evening.
You as well. Circumstances
Have you
aside.
have you been made aware of the bombing that took place earlier tonight?
Well, no, I don't think so. It seems like something someone maybe would have mentioned.
In the interest of expediency, I thought we could describe the events to you as we were meeting, regardless of your technological limitations.
Right.
It appears that the Sunrise Association that is involved with the Second Inquisition has somehow been convincing Thin Bloods that there is a method of salvation available to them if they take it upon themselves to, shall we say, sequester kindred and potentially, I'm not sure of the details, but destroy them, and or I am not sure of their full intent. But our Quinn Hamish, his sire, seems to be directly involved with this. And this evening threatened Mr. Smith and attempted to if not assassinate him, at least take down a few other kindred-owned establishments. Not too far from this universe.
Do you know where they're taking them?
As of yet, no.
Then I have good news. I do.
Excellent.
And he will pull out this sheet of paper, and he will um, explain that Michael Morrison has actually been working with Sunrise, as far as I can tell. And I've got a bit of a working theory, a little bit of a tinfoil hat, perhaps, about what they might be doing.
Please, we would, I think, entertain any theories at this point in time.
Well, if I were a cult leader, sort of amassing thin bloods, I imagine I'd be pretty unhappy about the people that were brought into this life with more of a full set of powers, as it were. And, well, I'd be quite curious about what might happen in an instance where one of these uh, thin bloods were to take every last drop from a member of a clan.
You can go ahead and roll your intelligence and occult to see if you would have a good idea of what might happen. Anyone in the room, Quinn, you can roll as well. Because you have a very good understanding of blood and the workings of kindred and kind blood at this point in time, having done so many experiments on it.
I don't have any. Well, I haven't. I've
Academics for you,
academics. Okay.
or what is it? Sorry, I don't have my things. I don't remember if technology or
Science,
sciences. Okay, you can roll science or medicine, I guess. Intelligence and whichever one you like, science or medicine.
Right.
Make it science, actually.
Okay.
5 with a crit.
Very nice.
5 with 2 almost crits.
Excellent. So both of you, from different perspectives, have an understanding. Kenny, from your training through your sire and having been kindred as long as you are, and Quinn from a blood alchemy science perspective, both of you understand that there would be an overload and change in thin-blooded physiology if they were to completely drain and consume the blood of a kindred and diablerize them. They would likely actually become fully kindred and indeed then have a clan of their own.
Since, as far as I am aware, that would bring them to take on the qualities of the clan that they were to diablerize. It seems like having a lot of people grateful to me, or perhaps deeper under my control through some means he seems to be employing to build this cult, would be mighty convenient.
Mighty convenient.
Indeed. I can see how this would be of concern to us. My only questions would be what Sunrise would stand to gain from this venture.
I mean, perhaps they don't know. Perhaps he's playing them for fools. Perhaps they do know, and they're using him as a puppet. All I want to
My-
know is, when can we find him so I can eat him?
My asset seems pretty firmly convinced that they are going about brainwashing people, and my asset's condition bestowed by me seems to have given him some amount of resilience to these brainwashing effects. So it's possible that the leader is maybe being controlled or ghouled by this Mr. Michael Morrison.
Now,
You
I
know-
speak under correction here as a storyteller. Again, I do not have my books, so because my computer is dead right now. But I do not believe, I don't think Thin Bloods can ghoul people, can they? Unless they change that in the errata.
I think there's a trait you can take that allows you to, but not
Okay.
by default.
Okay.
Regardless, I think Kenny probably wouldn't know that even with
Okay.
5 of the crit. He's never like met a Thin Blood who's tried it. So
Okay.
regardless of what might actually be possible, that's what he says in character.
Yeah, understandable. So, Andres, sorry, what was that, Quinn?
Oh, I was gonna say in response to Kenny's, talking about his friend who is resistant. I think Quinn actually agrees. It's like I think the mind control thing actually makes a lot of sense because we met an interesting character earlier tonight. Although I don't know if I'm not sure if it's mind control or if it's. I guess it could be coercion. Something very strange happened with this fellow earlier in the evening. We were, I was downtown. A bar blew up. It was a busy night, but we found this guy, in the back, and Elijah started questioning him, and then he just really odd behavior, but like his head just kind of snapped to the side, and blood started running out of his ears. I never seen anything like it before. It was weird. I mean, Elijah was already mad at him, so she just plugged him one in the head. But he had some weird stuff going on. He also burned her. I got his shirt around here somewhere. He pulls up a bag. I need to look at that later and see if there's anything fun we can glean from that. Figure out what toys these people are using.
I would be interested in helping you examine that shirt later, Mr. Hamish. As for your asset, Mr. Hartsmith, did he perhaps indicate where they might be?
I do have an address. I was thinking that perhaps this is something that our prince might be curious to know about, where they're keeping all the people that they're rounding up, and that were you to bring her an address, that might be beneficial to our cause.
I believe I can contact the sheriff directly, and I might be able to perhaps use this as leverage to negate the boon which I have taken upon myself to help us recover Ricky. One moment, please. And Andre makes a phone call, and I'm not going to role play both sides of the phone call, but you would hear a lot of political posturing. And once Alex does come back from next week, it will be obvious to you that at least Nikolai's boon for the help of the keeper will be negated if the coterie is able to join an operative that is currently on case in taking down this thin blood problem and retrieving the kidnapped kindred. And Andre clicks with the phone and says, "It would seem that our young Sora's Mala, a Bruja woman of the Anarch faction by the name of Camille, is on the case, as it were. And if we, as a coterie, were to assist in this operation, our boon to the keeper for retrieving young Ricky would be considered fulfilled."
Hmm.
Might I have your permission to call Sora?
Who's he asking?
The coterie, those of you that are assembled, Elijah and Quinn and Kenny.
Yeah, go for it.
Seems appropriate. Yeah.
Sora, as you were downstairs looking out the window, you received a phone call from Nicola. "Mr. Sora, good evening."
Hello. Oh, there is a lot I need to tell you. How is everything first? Pleasantries and all that?
Things are moving rather rapidly, Mr. Sora, and as unfortunately our kind only has a few hours to work with each night, I must ask you, would we be able to meet as a coterie with your Mala? We perhaps have a means of negating the boon which we have placed upon ourselves in order to help Miss Sakura retrieve Mr. Ricky. However, it will require us all working together with your Mala's current operation.
Oh, well, we were going to do that to begin with. Cause uh, Michaela got shot. Um, it hurt really bad. She said it hurt really bad. She's okay now though. Well, we helped her out and she's back to normal. But yeah, she got shot. And we are going to get retribution.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be able to arrange a location to meet with all of the coterie and your Mala and her associates?
Me? Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Very good. I will expect your phone call, hopefully, within the next few minutes, if this is acceptable.
Oh, that's super quick. Yes, yes. Yes. Few minutes. That's technically two. Okay, I got 2 minutes. I have to go. Bye. Click. And he hangs, he hangs up the phone and he kind of runs out the stairs. And he's like, I got responsibility. What is happening? And then you go, boop, boop. And as he comes down, he pretty much just vomit breath, like everything he just told in like speaking like 200 miles per hour. It's like, yeah, I just talked to Andre. He just said he wants us to do the mission. And then he realizes we talk so fast. He's like, oh, wait. You all probably did not understand a single thing I just said. Okay, so round two.
I heard Ricky. That's all I really care about. Continue.
That's because I have 2 minutes to schedule a meeting. Andre wants all of us to work together on my Malwa's mission, and if we do so, we can be able to remove the boon that is required for getting assistance for Ricky. Um, and so if we can think of a great place to meet up as a spot, nice and secure for everyone, that would be great. And I have 1 minute and 15 seconds left to call it back.
Emil says, "There is somewhere where we can meet with My associates and yours, it is not too far from the area which we believe they are holding several kindred. Uh, I will give you the location, and you may tell Mr. Andre that we can meet there. And she gives you this location, which is, again, it is not so, again, it's so difficult for me to work right now. I can't remember the name of the long street. Reed Avenue meets another horizontal street, which is on this area where there are lots of shipping containers and such in East New Orleans area. Further towards the west, the western area, there you are able to come there as well. Through again, there's lots of different shipping container places, but this is far enough away that you would all be able to meet there and be technically safe and be able to scout out the specific company that is potentially a front for this Sunrise Association in this area. Through the magic of editing, all of you arrive at this point. It's been a bit since you've all been together in the same place. Your photographer friend was paid and his mind wiped of the memory of the evening by Andre, and he drove off Sakura. And you were all face to face with each other for the first time in many, many days. Kenny, I would like you, please, to make a resolve and insight roll.
Weird, weird polls.
Mhm.
Okay.
Quick
I am
question.
going to.
Yes.
Would I notice Elijah's burnt hand from the aggravated
You
damage?
would. You would,
Okay.
yes.
So when he sees that, he says, "Oh, so that's not good. Wait, let me see." And he's going to go out and try to reach out to his hand, and essentially attempt to use his salubri abilities to regain that one aggravated damage back. Um,
Elijah says, whoa, 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 whoa.
which is 1 second. I
If you're gonna do anything weird, remember that Nosferatu are everywhere.
no, I promise it's nothing. Oh, well, it should be fine. I think nobody will really know. I think. And he kind of like keeps the hands down, so therefore no one will be able to see the unless somehow the Nosferatu was like a midget that was looking up
It's
at their
not.
hand. They were looking up at their hand specifically. I don't think they would be able to see their hand to get hopefully recuperated. And he's going to use his technique, Valorant, to try to repair that aggravated damage.
Excellent. So you roll that. And
Okay.
Kenny, what was your roll there?
I rolled a blood surge on resolve and failed because, as is appropriate, the beast is never sated for long. And I rolled a 6 of the crit.
You are, you have a sense of an odd comfort that is sort of radiating from what feels like a memory that was not hidden from you, but was left in such a state as for you to just be completely okay with it, that you would not focus attention on it. You remember the face of a man and words that he was speaking to you. You can't quite remember all the words at this point in time, but you find that this comfort and this odd feeling of relief seems to roll over you, and you find yourself being able to approach both Michaela and Sakura. There does not appear to be a barrier between you and them anymore.
He kind of like eyeballs it a little bit.
If
He's
Kenny
like,
is
he eyeballs it a little bit, sees that it's like just about 4 feet, and then like does one of those where like you jump at someone in surprise, and he like tries to jump closer and is like, that's interesting. Tucker, you were about to say something.
yeah, my internet is being bad, but if Sakura sees him like lunging forward, she will lunge back.
It's
And he
kind of
doesn't like it.
funny.
He doesn't like it again, and he can get closer, and he goes,
She actively does not let him get closer. Like, just
No.
pretty much, yeah.
Why
If he does
are you
it more, if he does it more than
trying
3
to
times,
avoid me testing this? I think I can get closer to you, and I couldn't
I'd
before.
really rather you didn't.
You cut out.
Sakura just like stare at him. Just, I really rather you didn't try and get closer.
Well, why? It's sort of important. What's the difference between 3.5 feet and 4?
Do you forget what happened the last time we? Oh my god. She just
I'm
sort of
trying
like
to
face
determine
palms.
if I owe you an apology or not, and it's making me
You
a little
definitely do. You
confused
you threatened to shoot us.
Yeah, well, excuse me. We have other business to attend to this evening. Perhaps we'll speak again later. And he'll just kind of give her the cold
Just
shoulder.
don't try and shoot me again.
Anyway, Michaela sees all of this and just sort of nods at Kenny, but like it's not an angry nod, but more of like it's more of like an anxious nod. Like she thinks something is going on with his head that she doesn't understand, but I think he's not going to shoot me this time around. I think he's just figured something out, but she's just like just that kind of nod. I don't know how to express it, but like that is the vibe she's putting out towards him. She's like in her head with the nod. I don't know if Kenny gets it, but she nods to like say that. Be like, I understand, but also please don't shoot me.
The two people who were in the car with Sakura as she came here would fully know that the only reason she is here is for Ricky. Otherwise, she would actively be not coming. So this is probably not a surprise to those who were in the car with her.
He nods back at Michaela, and it's kind of like if you've ever seen like a security guard at a concert venue where you like nod at them and they like nod back. It's kind of like that. It's like it's not overly friendly, but it's not at all like aggressive or hostile either.
For Michaela, she thinks it's an acknowledgement of what she was expressing. Now, it may be, but she doesn't know that. She's just like, okay, he gets it. He gets the nod that I gave him because he nodded back.
And then he tries to lunge towards Michaela to test the circle.
Michaela does not jump away, but is like just sort of shocked at him because she's like, why are you nodding it? Like I gave you a nod and you acknowledge the nod and then you jump at me. So she doesn't jump back. She's just like shocked. She's standing there.
And when he realizes he's like within about 3 feet, he goes, I do owe you an apology. I'm not sure what was happening the other evening, but It seems I may have had some misconceived notions about what you've been up to.
All right. I accept your apology. I got shot, so apparently getting shot was part of my destiny this week. So I'm just glad that it wasn't from your gun.
I'm probably about to shoot some people, but it won't be you.
Thank you.
Speaking of shooting people,
Aww.
shooting people with healing, how did that go
Well,
with
that
Valor?
that would absolutely fantastic. I got 9 successes with crit. So you see pretty much the aggravated damage of like the smeared almost probably maybe hamburger George Foreman grill like smear on his palm just starts to heal up. But you notice as his hand starts to heal, there is a small gradual wound that slowly spreads across Sora's face. As he uses the ability for the second time today and gains actually superficial damage for healing someone from activated damage. And so
Elijah says, "Thank you, kid,
Mhm.
but be careful about doing that in public, okay?"
He nods.
And witnessing all this jumping back and forth, Camille sort of shakes her head. She says, "All right, children, are we ready to try and figure out what is going on?"
A retribution.
Now, some of my colleagues have gone on ahead there scouting from the other side, but we are within walking distance if we take 20 or 30 minutes to be as quiet as we can to get to the area. Are you all able to be relatively quiet?
Not really.
I am a stealth master.
I can try.
I'm kind of a beacon of pink.
He
I'm-
points towards Michaela.
I'm like a librarian, so I'm pretty sure I know how to keep quiet. Also, at this point, when she says this, she turns to Elijah. Elijah, I want to apologize. That shirt that you got for me, there's a hole in it now, and I really feel bad about it. But also, I got shot, so it's not really my fault.
You know,
That's a good point.
deal with that later. It's just this. I need to get my best friend back. Let's do this. All right. So I need all of you to go ahead and make a stealth roll. If anyone is activating the abilities, you can tell me.
I'm definitely surging because I am not built for stealth.
So I have stealth, and I also have which
Obfuscate.
is better. Unseen. Yeah, I have obfuscate, but I'm trying to choose which one. Whether
Is it
unseen
pure
passage or
stealth?
cloak of
Just-
shadow.
Can't just do both.
Unseen
Perfect.
passage is going to be the one that lets you move without being noticed. Cloak of Shadows, I believe, is just when you're standing still.
I'll just do unseen passage then. With stealth.
Again, my book is not open, but that's
No,
what I'm remembering.
You're right. Unseen passage lets you move around, functionally invisible.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean your feet don't still make noise. So if you have silence of death, it's good to use that unless you just want to rely on your stealth roll.
I don't
Of
have. I
which
just have.
I have 0 stealth.
Same.
I have 2 stealth and unseen passage. So that's what I'm
Okay.
gonna do.
I'm gonna be
Is it just
invisible.
straight stealth?
Unseen passage, you would be
No,
able
no,
to add your it's dexterity and stealth, and then you
Okay.
can add your obfuscate rating if you're using unseen passage.
It's gonna be like,
That makes it mildly better than 0 dice, but still not many.
be walking around invisible, singing.
So,
Don't be
I
suspicious.
gotta
Don't be suspicious.
Be suspicious.
Pretty much. I got one.
Yeah, I'm definitely using willpower of that one because that was garbage. Okay, much better. Much better. Oh, 4 successes.
So it's 5 successes with a crit.
Penny has 1 success with Silence of Death active.
Okay.
Quinn has 2 successes with Silence of Death and Unseen Passage active. I need to roll a
Silence
rouse
of
check
Death
real
and
quick.
Unseen Passage, it's an automatic success.
Oh, okay. Well then. Let me just roll a rouse check real quick to make sure I don't get hungry.
Okay. I'm not going to roll for the rest of them. So
I'm hungrier.
the group in total for the active players here, as a group, you have a group success on your stealth check. So now, as you guys begin to get closer to this area, and you can see that there are a number of what seem to be people that are walking around. They are loading things into different containers, and it seems to be like a functional type warehouse as well. But everyone go ahead and make a wits and awareness roll just to see what extra information you get from your scouting out here.
Height assistance is up for me with hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm a master of observation. Just, not under stressful conditions.
I'm gonna add my aspects of sense the unseen up, if that's okay.
2 successes.
Yes. So go ahead and
Heightened
roll for
senses vision.
2 successes. All right.
4 successes.
4 successes. 2 for Sakura.
It's 6 successes for Michaela.
All right. So Kenny, being a person that is trained with firearms, would notice the position of what might be several different snipers in different positions hiding amongst these various containers. Sora as well would notice that there are, even on the people that are just loading things, that there are some firearms that are on them. Michaela, with your sense the unseen, you actually notice that there are a couple of people that seem to be obfuscated in the direction there. But in total, between the 3 of you that noticed very well, there are a lot of people there, more than your group assembled. There are also what you would notice, Michaela, with your sense the unseen, is that because you rolled so well, you notice a slight bit of aura coming off of, usually this wouldn't happen, but you rolled very well. You slight bit of aura coming off of some of these people. There is when this happens to you occasionally, there is a telltale grayish aura among a number of them, which would indicate that they are kindred of some sort. And then there is a more vibrant aura coming off of some of the hidden snipers, which you spot, which would indicate that they are alive and kind. In total, amongst the people that you've all seen together, I would say that there are around 15 or so people. Sora, because you had the heightened senses up, you are able to hear, coming from some of the containers, some of the closed containers, you are able to hear several things. You hear occasionally the sound of like taser shocking. You hear occasionally sounds of pain. And because you rolled so well with that 6 successes, you also hear what sounds like the sound of a drip that you would associate with medical equipment, like that drip that you would, that would come off of somebody's attached to a device or something. You notice that sound as well.
So I'll let the group know. Says it sounds like somebody's being tortured. I hear tasers and then paint, and then I hear like a dripping sound, like anesthesia being, going through a tube that feeds it to people's arm. This is definitely sounds like a facility of people doing experiments.
There's also a lot of moving pieces around, and it's a mixture of our kind and those who are still alive. Mostly the ones with snipers are the ones that are alive.
How should we go in?
Carefully. Sorry,
That is
Quinn's
up to
Quinn's a
you.
lover, not a fighter.
That is up to you. How would you like to go in? What we can do is I'm going to give you guys a bit of a plan of attack, and we are going to run this scenario with the 3 and out rule. So make a plan and decide what is going to be the first move. And then we will use a 3 and out rule and cinematically narrate the events that take place. So out of character, you can tell me what is your plan here? How do you think you would proceed? Or you can speak to each other in character, discussing the plan as you would like.
Well, I think the sneakiest of us are probably best suited for trying to get in, because I know a few of us are actually like actively invisible. Uh, the ones that are more combat capable probably are going to be, with them if they're able to, like, because we don't want this to turn into a big, we don't want this to turn into like D-Day, because that might be problematic. We didn't bring enough explosives for that.
I'm thinking that maybe we should try and get those snipers out of the way. If we're gonna, like, you know, if we're
How
gonna do
many of them
something.
did we count?
As far as snipers go, you were able to see and count 4 different snipers in different locations.
Well,
Sneak up
unfortunately,
on each of the snipers possibly.
well, let me
I will point out that your friend Camille there, she is also very, very skilled when it comes to firearms. So if you needed somebody to be second shot for being sniper ring anti-sniper snipers, she is available.
I think Kenny is going to take that role as well. But I need to ask the storyteller. It seems like things have been moving pretty quickly. He keeps it at the Haven. Has he been back or near enough to the Haven that he could have grabbed his rifle?
In preparation for this event, before you had met up, you have all the equipment that you could have wanted.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a cinematic montage type thing that you have acquired all your.
So Kenny will set down the case, then the big old cello case, and open it and pull out his rifle, and he'll say, "I think I've got an idea on how to draw their fire."
And Camille begins to assemble her own sniper rifle and says, "Well, I'm with you. tell me where to shoot.
And as they're talking, he'll kind of start explaining the angles that he feels like he saw and look around for a place to set up. I think that's his part of the plan covered.
All right. So one of the steps of the 3 and out is going to be this taking out the snipers. Now, would you like to take out the snipers first, or are you going to have the sneaky people go in first?
I was thinking kind of like a sort of concurrent plan sort of thing, if other people are okay with that. Because like
Yeah.
we don't necessarily want to wait until the whole like gun battle is done. But if it happens concurrently, then their attention will be drawn and allow them the
Yes.
opportunity to sneak through.
Excellent. And would you like to wait until the success of that or failure of that until you tell me as a group what step 3 of the 3 and out will be?
I mean, because it could change. Like,
Diverse.
yeah, shit can change depending on what happens. So
Okay. All right. So with who all are the sneaky bunch that are going in?
you said
Presuming-
unseen passage was an automatic success. So I guess I'm one
Unseen
of them.
passage plus silence of death
Plus
would be an
silence, yeah.
automatic stealth success.
So I guess I'm one of the sneaky ones. By default.
All right, everyone. So we are back. The screens are all correct, which is great. So can I go ahead and have the those that are sneaking in and going in, except for Quinn because you have an automatic success. There's Sora. You are going to attempt to get in as well.
With Lagatha and Bernard. That's the reason why he's going in, because he knows they can provide much better support.
All right. So Sora, you go ahead and make your stealth check there. We will include your familiars in this stealth check. Michaela, are you also joining the stealthy group?
Yes, I am. I'm going to join the stealthy group with my trusty
Okay.
knights.
Okay, you have your unseen passage up, which is great. So you can add your obfuscate rating to your stealth check.
All right, so
Sakura will propose a diversion as well.
Can you repeat that?
Sakura will propose a diversion.
A diversion. All right. So what diversion would you like to propose, Sakura?
Well, like to talk around with the group. Like I can be pretty distracting if you need me to draw attention, and I'm kind of quick.
Tracking how?
Look at me, I'm pink.
Well,
Okay.
what we're going to try to go in and sort of like cause havoc to this place, right? Is that the plan?
You go in the back door, and I go in the front screaming. Not literally, but kind of literally, actually. It doesn't matter.
Elijah says, and I will watch her because if need be, I can get her out of the way very, very quickly.
Cool.
All right.
And question to the storyteller is just stealth and my auspex, right?
Dex and stealth, and you're
Gotcha.
adding in your obfuscate rating.
Cool.
roll to me, 5 for Lagatha, and then
That's
So-
5 success with a crit for me.
funny. We literally went 4, 5, 6. 4 successes for Sora, 5 for Lagatha, and 6 for Bernard.
That's expected. Bernard is a cougar.
Yeah. It makes perfect sense.
Stealthy cat.
Yeah, stealthy
Kenny.
cat.
Kenny, you roll 2 separate rolls. We're going to use your dice pool for Camille's dice pool for the sniper stuff because I know that your character is built for that, and she is too, but I have not got her sheet.
Fair enough.
All right. So Sakura, we're going to start off this with you. How are you approaching?
Okay, so her plan is to pretty much just like sneak in and then just wander through the middle of the fairway with her phone out.
Very good. Are you going to be activating any abilities during this?
Aw. When she
All
gets
right,
out
so-
into the middle,
So, Sakura, you are walking around and you're pretending to be on your phone. What are you saying? Act this out for me.
she's gonna go, hello, is this the geocache location? It says this is where I'm supposed to be.
Please tell me she hits a landline.
So there are two people near the front of this establishment, which are they look as if they were maybe like moving boxes. One of them has sort of like a forklift thing that's driving, and they sort of like stop and look and come up to you and they say, I think you might be lost, ma'am. This is a cargo shipping company. I don't think you should be here. Hey, aren't you that Sakura lady? And the one says, Joe.
I
And
am.
the other one,
I'm doing a
the other
geocache
one-
video, and
sorry, what was that, Sakura?
I am. I'm doing a geocache video, and this is where I'm supposed to be.
And the one who was named Joe, he comes up there. Well, hell, it's I follow you on Instagram, and I saw your shoot out there, the last one there you did during Halloween in Lafayette Cemetery. That was genius. I mean, how did you make yourself look that pale? That was insane. Like, what kind of makeup do you use? And the one says,
The lightest
other one-
shade.
and they are thoroughly distracted by this, which allows our sneaky group to sort of get by them unnoticed. As you are making your way inside the various shipping containers, some of them are very high and some of them are like a maze. You are following your ears to the section that Sora was listening out for, where you could hear the tasers and such going off inside the one container section. And it is a lot louder now. And at that same time, Kenny and Camille are getting ready to take out their snipers.
Would Camille be, I assume, willing to spend a willpower on this effort?
Sure.
Okay. Because Kenny did. Oh my goodness. Well, naturally, I assume older Bruja needed to one up Kenny, so that's 9 with a crit for Kenny and 10 with a crit for Camille.
Very nice. As Sakura is distracting these people silently on deadly wings, there are one-shot rings out and the other. You don't hear it because these are silent sniper rifles. Quickly reloading, and you have taken out the 4 visible snipers there, and they fall sort of to the ground, which makes a fairly loud noise as they were high up. And there is now a commotion in the yard as some of these dead bodies have fallen to the ground, and people are starting to like scramble and start to run there in the direction of these fallen bodies. And Joe and the other man who was not named, they sort of like start to look away. It's like, I think something's going on, Joe. And Joe says, well, maybe we should take a look there. Sorry, ma'am, do you mind if we when am I gonna get a chance to talk to Sakura again? I'm sorry, ma'am. I think we might need to head in there. It seems there's some kind of problem.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just keep finding my thing.
Are you sure? We could stay. We give you some help.
If you want to, I mean, just don't get fired. But also, like, if you want to help, I don't mind.
Pardon me. We might jump stick.
great. Adrian, your sound cut out.
All right, there we go. All
There
good.
you go.
Just had to change where my camera is situated because. All right. So, can you repeat that, Sakura?
Yeah. Sartor's good. You're welcome to, but like, don't get fired. But also, I don't mind getting help.
I think they got it covered, don't they, Terry? I think they got it covered just as well. Joe, you might be right. I think it's okay. We can help you out. See, what you're looking at here, and they're looking at this like geocaching thing on your phone, which you've got up, and they are going to lead off to a different place there. Meanwhile, in the yard, there is this container that you hear these sounds coming from, and there is a huge ruckus that has been caused in the other sections of the yard as people are running towards where these bodies have fallen down. What are you doing at this container? So this will be Michaela and Quinn and Sora that are close to this container.
Do the containers open and do the container open and does people come out of it?
Not yet. The people in the yard have run towards where these bodies have fallen, and all of this is happening very, very quickly. So you have a few moments likely before everyone is alerted.
Does it look like there's anything, is there any like fuel, like gasoline, or like anything just like, kind of around for the vehicles anywhere? I'm just curious.
Not here specifically. Not here by these containers specifically, but there, because there is an actual like building where they would keep that. This is mostly where the stacked up cargo containers are, the shipping containers.
Yeah, because we just don't know what they're shipping, so
Yeah.
All right, so there's no logos on anything with like fire, like a flame or anything. It says this is flammable.
Not right by you, no. This would be, they would keep that in a different location.
Maybe we should go into the container and see if the people that we're looking for are in there.
Okay.
So that's the thing that we are going to do, I guess. Sora and Quinn. All
Is
right.
it locked, or can I just open it?
It is, so you are able to open it because people come in and out here. So you open the door, and I'm assuming Quinn is going there because Quinn is the one.
Yeah. Adrian, we can't hear you. Cut out again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Quinn, you open the door up, and you are the first person to see that inside this shipping container, which is one of the very long ones, I think it's like a 40-footer or something like that, which is the longest kind you can get. There are rows of, I would say, five people on one side and 5 people on the other side down the length, but that they are sort of chained up to a wall, and they are connected to a machine which seems to be slowly siphoning out their vitae, and there is a drip, and inside the container there is one man who is dressed in sort of you can tell that they have a rifle on, but they have a rifle with them, but they are looking at sort of a computer screen, and you have just a second to react to see if you want to take out this man. How are you going to deal with this?
Oh, easily. Pretty much channel his inner Mowgli and sick Lagatha and and a Bernard on them. Like, get him!
Yeah.
And num Cheerios.
Go ahead and roll that attack then.
Oh, it's gonna be delicious.
So I hope somebody else who's better suited for it is here to do that, because my well, I could.
That's the reason why I have a guard dog and a cougar, because they got some.
It's much quieter than a shotgun.
I also have a knife that can slice his throat if needed.
I have like no combat skills, so I have a little bit. Like probably like kill a human. Maybe.
There's the reason I'm the distraction and not the fighting.
All right, so 6 successes for
Beat,
lack of
distracted,
love.
beat.
Has been
All right.
marked
That
on
is
the
more than enough. Silent and deadly,
board. Okay.
Bernard jumps on the man and takes him down and is biting into his neck. And Lagatha is also jumping in there, sort of biting into his back. Without even a word, you are able to take out this man. And you see that there are 10 kindred that are in this facility, and one of them does indeed appear to be Annette Dubois, the uh, Baron of the French Quarter, helping these people, getting them unattached from these devices. They are
I'm gonna
weak.
close the door behind us as we're doing this, just so we don't.
All right.
If somebody
They are
wander
weak
by,
and they are hungry. And Annette sort of collapses a little bit on Michaela, and she says, "Oh, sorry." They say, "I don't. There's. I think this. You shouldn't have come here. This is a trap. I can't." And there is a lot of commotion going on outside as you are slowly beginning to get these people out and about. And as you sort of see that these kindred are reclaiming their own vitae out of these machines that have been draining their blood bit by bit, they sort of into these bags, they sort of devour their own vitae from these bags, and they are beginning to exit rapidly from the container as you are all making your way out into the night. But the commotion that has been caused, you all witness that a lot of these other container doors actually do open, and you see that there is the form of your sire, Quinn, that has stepped out, and a lot of other kindred as well that have stepped out of these containers, and they are looking around and sort of shouting at different containers, and he is looking around into the night air and says, "Well, I know you've got to be here somewhere, my boy. You've come home. This is so great. You can join us now. You can be one of us. We're doing great work here. They've told us they have a cure for all of us. All that we need is just we have to take everything from them, and they can use their blood to cure us. I know you have to be here somewhere, my child."
Michaela holds on to Quinn just in case he does something stupid and says, "Now is not the time. I understand you
Never.
want to kill him, but we need to get out of here with a net, or Elijah will kill us."
I don't think I'm really in a good position to be killing anyone right now. Quinn's not
Good.
stupid.
Good. So we're gonna book out of here with a net.
As you are now carrying people, I do believe the unseen passage doesn't work when you carry people. There is
Sure.
a specific obfuscate power for that. You are all visible and attempting to get these other kindred out with help, and some of Camille's people that she had brought in have also come in to sort of help you. However, these other kindred and these other people that were hiding in containers have broken out, and they are pulling out guns, and there is a loud shooting sound that begins to echo throughout the night as bullets begin raining towards you, and almost in slow motion you all witness that the bullets seem to move slowly and stop. And in the middle of the yard, you see that there is a very bright light.
Hey,
And
it's Prince
a
Battle.
man with very large, beautiful black wings has spread his wings up and says, "We'll only have a few moments here. I would suggest you run."
And we run.
If Sakura sees it, she runs.
She's like, oh, let's book it out of here. This is much worse. Let's go.
Sora just like looks shockingly while he's running. He's like, no, that's a Lubri. What is that? And then, and he just keeps.
The man in the middle of the yard turns as these bullets have frozen in midair and looks up to another container. And Kenny and Camille would notice this from this. You would be able to see all of this happening. Looks to the top of another container where you see a man who is standing on top of it, which a couple of years ago, well, a year ago, when you had done your research on the Sunrise Association, you had picked out that this is Brian Davids, the leader of the Sunrise Association. The winged man in the center of the yard looks up at him and says, I'm not quite sure what you're doing here, Zerakyle, but I don't think you'll fool them for long. And that is where we are going to stop our story for this evening. So I want to thank everyone for sticking with us for a slightly longer episode, and thank you all so much to some of our new followers and to those of you who are subscribers to the channel. As always, thank you so much. We are working on some custom emotes for you all, and if you would join our Discord, there is a subscriber only section for those who are in Discord where you can, occasionally interact with some of the castmates and have a spoiler and non-spoiler discussion. And there is, of course, our Patreon, which we are uploading wonderful things often to you guys. There is going to be an AMA coming up relatively shortly at the end of this month, where you guys can ask us anything you like. And there are, of course, some bonus episodes, the cast after chat, and there are going to be our character vignettes where we're going to have some very special guests, which will be Patreon exclusives. And having said all that, we're going to jump back to our cast for just a second and have them tell us what they're working on and their projects and where they can be found on the internet. And we will start with Kira. Why don't you tell our friends again where they can find you on the internet and what projects you're working on?
Well, hi. So I am Kira858. So yeah, I have my own Twitch channel, also located at Kira858. We have two TTRPGs currently going on. One, of course, being Riverwood Academy, which is a young adult magic school academy that shows up on Tuesdays at 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're free around that time frame, definitely come by. It's a great show. Aaron's a fantastic DM. And then on Saturdays, we have our brand new hits, Lords of Faerun, which features the fantastic DM Elisa Pearl and great individuals like Diana, Melee Damage. Of course, Adrian's a player there as well. We're on our 5th episode now. We had a previous special guest who may be coming back again relatively shortly, so keep a lookout for that. You can also join me on my Twitter. My Twitter is Kira619858. Starting Monday, we're going to be having a giveaway where if we reach 500 followers for my Twitter, we'll be giving away a free dice set. And then if we reach 1,000 followers from my Twitter, you will receive a free dice set, pretty much the entire Pride set associated with Die Hard Dice. So definitely looking forward to that. You'll see that tweet coming out tomorrow and be available for everyone. There's just a couple of follow criteria that's associated with that. And we have so much more planned. I can keep going on, but yep, that's all for me. Pass it back to Adrian.
Well, good. That is awesome. All right. Next up, why don't we jump down to Glyza? Why don't you tell us again who you are and where we can find you on the interwebs and what you are working on?
Hey guys, So like I said, I'm Gliza from Classical Adventures for One, which is a passion project, a podcast passion project where each season I read a classic book. This season, though, I have some guest stars, guest voice actors that will also participate in my dramatic readings. I also break down all trivia research all about the authors, everything to do with the classic book that I'm reading. Season one was all about Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and season two, the book that I'm working on is Poirot Investigates, which is Agatha Christie's sort of Sherlock Holmes type person. So that is for Classical Adventures for One. I'm also a TTRPG player. As you can see, I am on a lot of games with on Adrian's channel as well as Kira's channel. I am on Lords of Faerun as well. So watch me try like all the characters I play for whatever reason seem to have a secret. Unfortunately, the player itself is not very good at keeping secrets. So it's an interesting dynamic to watch. So enjoy me as I fail to keep the secrets that my characters have been trying to build all their lives. It's awesome. So yeah. Oh, you can find me everywhere as Classical Glyza. Twitter, Twitch, whatever. I'm Classical Glyza.
Nice. Next up, we'll have our awesome friend Zach. Where can we find you and your amazing projects on the internet? And why you can talk about your specific upcoming project here as well.
Yeah, sure. I'm Zach. You can find me on Twitter at the Halo Musings. And I think in late August, is that correct?
Yep.
We will start having our stream sessions of a little thing called The Haunting of Mallory Mergot. And it will be a Mage the Ascension in 20 story that focuses on some of the more ghostly exorcism, haunting style horror themes. So I'm very, very excited to present that to you all in a couple months.
I'm also super excited for that as well because we will also have Eliza Pearl, who will be one of the cast members there. If you guys follow Lady Eve on Instagram, they are an amazing World of Darkness cosplayer, amongst other things. They will also be in our show. Ree, who is also on Lords of Faerun, will be in that show as well. Myself too, and of course Murphy Pop Art here on Twitch. All of us will be on there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that a lot. Next up, why don't we jump to Cassidy? Why don't you tell us where we can find you and what else you might be working on?
Hello, I am Cassidy. You can find me on Twitter at awkward_Cassidy. No, it's awkward Cassidy underscore. My bad. And you can find me here. I don't do much else. But on Tuesday, I believe, if I'm correct on that date, Adrian, you
Yes,
can
it
catch
should
me.
be Tuesday. Hopefully, if my computer is okay by then. But yeah.
So hopefully Tuesday you can catch me here for the Secret Life of Cats one-shot sequel. If it's anything like the first one, it's going to be a glorious disaster. So please come join us.
It should be a lot of fun. I hope that I am able to solve the computer issues by then. Otherwise, we'll have to postpone it. Next up is my good friend Mike. Where can we find you on the internet? What are you doing on the internet?
I haven't been doing a whole lot on the internet lately, but you can find me on Twitter. Also, not doing a whole lot. It's Sir Monolith. Yeah, I hope to get some stuff going again. I just haven't had time for it lately.
Understandable.
So enjoying being a player instead.
which is great. I mean, you are a fun player to have. All right, everyone, and I am Adrian Beer or Aries. You can call me either. You can find me on ko-fi.com/Adrian Beer, where you can find some commissions available if you guys are interested in playing some one-shots of either Vampire the Masquerade, Dungeons and Dragons, City of Mist, or anything else, or if you want to get your own campaign run, ko.fi.com/AdrianBear/commissions. You guys can hop on there and come and play some games with me. It should be a heck of a lot of fun. As always, thank you so much for joining. And we are going to see if we can raid that bronze girl at the moment. And we love you very much. We will see you all next week. So we will go to our ending screen now.